Caring too much about what anyone and everyone thought about me was the biggest mistake I made in my early teenage years. And I know if you have clicked on this video, that means you definitely have regret inside of you. Let me tell you one thing that I realized recently: oversharing, overcaring, or worrying too much, or wrong friendships, doing drugs, or not focusing on work at the right time are mistakes that everyone makes in their early, or most of the people make in their early teenage years. But they are nothing compared to what I'm about to tell you in this video. The biggest mistake is not knowing your mistakes, and then once you know that you have made them, not accepting them at the right moment. I know it sounds gimmicky, but what I really mean here is whatever mistake you have made, there will come a time when you are going to realize it. And that time will be the time to accept that mistake, accept that you have done it, but you will not want to do so because of resistance. You might even cringe over it, and you might think that why did you do it and stuff like that. And that is exactly the reason behind porn, masturbation, addiction, or doom scrolling, or procrastination, or any of those things. And so in this video, I'll be teaching you how to realize the meta mistake and destroy it so that it does not destroy you. So how do you realize the meta mistake? Alright. So to do that, the first thing that you need to do is that be with yourself in a room completely alone, and that is something that I have taught about exactly in this video. So make sure to watch this video after you're done watching this one. So firstly, what you need to do, cut off communication from all of your friends and everyone that you don't need to communicate to. Of course, if you're living with your parents, or if you're living with someone, then you have to talk to them. But what I really mean is that cut off communication, cut off digital communication. Yeah, of course, if it's something like your parents or someone that you must absolutely talk to, then keep that. But you will end up eliminating, like if you have got 10 WhatsApp, 10 people that you talk to every day, you'll just be left with 1 or 2. So make sure to do that so that you don't over communicate and don't overshare, and actually get the alone solitude time that you need to do this thing. Second thing that you need to do is think of all of the things that make you feel bad, some form of negative emotion. Think of all of those things that give you some form of negative emotion. For example, you can think of something that makes you angry, something that makes you sad, something that makes you feel regret, something that makes you cringe. Any of those things. Think of anything and everything that gives you a ting of negative emotion. And what you need to do is write them down. Alright. Now again, as I said, you can use Google Docs, or you can use pen or paper to do this. Write them down. It doesn't have to be very detailed or anything, but it has to be clear enough so that you understand it when you read it later on. Then what you need to do is that you need to do the same thing but opposite. You need to think of all the things that give you a thing of positive emotion. It could make you feel happy, it could make you feel excited, it could make you feel curious, it could make you feel motivated, inspired, whatever. Think of everything that you have done that gives you a feeling of all of these, like any of these feelings. It could be helping someone, it could be completing a task that you're procrastinating, it could be, being disciplined when your body was really trying to not be disciplined. Like all of these things, you need to think of that as well, and then write them down as well. I'll give you an example for each. Firstly, let's take the bad example. So a few months back, I played a game called Mad Game Tycoon 2 obsessively, and playing it was not the problem. It was a very good strategic game where you really had to think a lot. But the keyword here is obsessive. Anything that you do it in extremes is very bad. So that was the problem. I used to play that very much, and all I thought was about how to maximize my profits in the game, and that thing wasted quite a lot of my time, and I really feel bad about wasting that much of time on a video game. Now the good one example is that I recently worked 12 hours in a day. I'll put the screenshot here if you want to see. Now I will not give you a fixed number for the list that I mentioned. Like you can come up with as many as you want, but try to come up with at least 5 or 6, because that will give you enough data to see emerging patterns and see some form of pattern that will emerge, and that pattern will help you recognize it. If you just do 1 or 2, then you will not have enough data to base anything off on. So make sure you do at least 5, 6. I personally did 10 to 12. So the more you do, the better, but don't take it to 100, 200 as well. So yeah, don't go that extreme as well, but yeah, try to do at least 5 or 6. You could go up to 20 or 30 types. Once you have done that, what you need to do is analyze both the list of good as well as the bad things, and ask these questions. The first thing that you need to ask is, why did I do it? What really motivated you to do it? What the answer should be here, the emotion. Like whenever you do something, it is based off an emotion. So whatever that emotion was, you need to write that down. Now I know remembering the exact emotion might be a bit difficult, so at least try to come close. Try to think that what was it that made you feel, whether you were angry on someone, whether someone did something that caused a bit of jealousy in you, that you decided to take that action. So any of that. Then what was my state of mind while doing it? You need to ask, did you act impulsively, or did you think about it? Did you plan rationally, or was it a strategic move? Was it something that you thought at least for some time and then you did? Or was it something that you just, thought about and just did without like thinking anything about the consequences or anything? You need to answer in either these of the two options. Now, what was the actual outcome or the consequence? Basically, what was the first order consequence of you taking that action, you doing the thing? And lastly, what you need to ask is, what did I exactly do? Now, I know this sounds a bit stupid. Like, of course you know what you did, but like writing it down will just add a different level of clarity. You don't need to like completely explain it and make an entire essay or something, but you need to write in brief, what did you exactly do? Now, once you do this for all of your good as well as bad things, you'll start to see a pattern. A pattern will consist of common elements like your mood, your state of mind, your emotions, your actions, the consequences, and all of these things. And you will start to absorb recurring patterns. You'll start to see the things that happen again and again and again. Like, for example, there could be a certain mood that forces you to do a certain action. Now, of course, the actions are going to be different, but the theme of the actions are going to be the same. Like, there will be many actions that fall under the same thing. For example, procrastination. Watching YouTube is procrastination. Watching Netflix is procrastination. Watching a movie when you should be working is procrastination. Now, all of these three actions are different actions, but they fall under the same umbrella of procrastination. Alright? So you'll start to see recurring themes. For example, you procrastinate when you're sad. Alright? Now, you might be watching Netflix when you're sad. You might be watching YouTube when you're sad or something like that. And what you notice is that all of these things fall under procrastination. So that means whenever you're sad, you tend to procrastinate. Alright, so this is how you take the pattern and you link it to your emotion. And the key to elimination is awareness. You cannot kill an enemy you're not aware of. And I would like to warn you that your brain is going to tell you that this is absolute nonsense and bullshit and it's not going to work. Because that's exactly what my brain told me as well. But trust me, once you do it, it's going to change your life. It is going to make you so much aware of your behaviors, of your patterns, of your thoughts, of your emotions, of your actions, every damn thing. You'll just reach a different level of awareness. Now, I don't mean it on a like monkish level that you're like that, but you will basically be able to see something like, let's say you're trying to work here and your brain is like, okay, let's go and watch YouTube. You'll be like, no, hello brain, I recognize that I'm not going to do it. I'm going to work. So you'll have that level of awareness and you will be able to resist any of the cheap dopamine that your brain tries to convince you to take. And as I said, your brain will try to convince you to not do it, but that is nothing but resistance trying to stop you from doing the work, because it knows that once you do this, the enemy is going to get identified, that you are going to become aware of the enemy and you are going to destroy it. Now, if you watched till here, here's a little thank you gift. I've given you the exact steps that you need to take, but the thing is, it is still going to be a bit difficult, and we both know that. And so to make it easy for you, I've created my own newsletter, which is absolutely free, and I post more in-depth stuff like 3 to 5 times a week, consisting of many detailed guides which are a lot longer. And of course, they'll come eventually on YouTube as well, but if you need them quicker, and if you want to get the information a bit more frequently, because making these YouTube videos takes a bit of time, and there's a cap on how many I can upload in a week, but there's no cap on how much I can write. Of course, there's a cap on that, but that cap is a lot higher than the one that I have on YouTube here. And you know what is the best part about this newsletter or this thank you gift that I'm giving you? Most of the people don't know about it, because 95% of the people have already left this video. So only 5% of the people who initially clicked are still watching. So that means you have an unfair advantage over your competition, because everyone who clicked on this video is your competition, right? And you are getting an unfair advantage. And we both know that unfair advantages are how you absolutely destroy all of your competition. So make sure to take advantage of it. With that being said, I'll see you soon.